Hi, Zach and Red, Steve. How are you guys doing? Can you hear me okay? Was the sound on that video way too loud? I redid it twice and it's like I can't tell where the volume level's at. Hi, Ray. Thank you guys for coming in. Hi, Susan. So, that's why that's not moving. Hi, Terry. Okay, good deal. Sound is good. So I told you guys last week I would talk about routines this week, and I do want to do that. First, since I am kind of dropping off on my Tuesday lives, I do want to go ahead and do a couple of updates while people are coming in. The first is a water update. If you guys have seen my videos before, I am trying to reintroduce water because I had actually been reacting to it. And it's kind of been up and down. I am basically finding that I need to drink any of my water in the morning and then just space it out so that I'm not drinking it all on an empty stomach. And that seems to be going well. I am up to 3 cups a day. So that is that. We do have the raid parades on Fridays at 2 p.m. Eastern. I think that'd be 11 a.m. Pacific. All right, you two, knock it off. Sorry. Hopefully they go out in the other room and the kids can take care of the cat fights. If you would like to join the raid parade, please go ahead and grab the raid parade link on my about page. That will give you a form to fill out, and it's basically, I need to know what your channel name is, how long your video is. I am going to, starting next week, restrict that to 18 minutes maximum. Just to keep things moving. We are getting some more people joining us here lately. So trying to keep the ball rolling, I guess you could say. Because we are getting to the point that we are going more than an hour. So I want to keep people interested and involved so they don't drop off. And then if you haven't seen my video from last Tuesday, we are doing a trashy toss challenge. I am working with my everyday wife life. She is doing a 30-day walking challenge. I added the challenge of picking up trash while you walk. If you can't get out and walk for some reason, picking up trash in your house or getting some more decluttering done. So far, it has not gone well for me. I wound up with some fairly big bruises on my leg last week, and I'm not sure where they're from, and they are not, I don't know, I'm just a little unstable on my feet, so while they are healing at this point, I will probably be getting out, but I've basically been decluttering and getting trash out of the house and junk and all that good stuff. So gonna check out the chat a little bit. Looks like we've got Vicky with us and Water Girl. Thanks you guys for coming in. Tracy, Zach, Ray is still here. And Red. I was going to say, Ray, I missed your live yesterday as well. I will have to go check out the sunset. It sounds like you had a good time at. I'm going to get rid of this banner and Let's see here. Okay, so today we are talking about routines, and I am going to just jump right into that real quick. While I am on the screen share, I won't be able to see chat, but let's see if I can get that bigger. Okay. All right, but I will come back and grab questions after that. So, where did I find it? Okay. Can I move you off the middle of the screen, please? There we go. Okay, so routines. Last week we talked about habits. So if you missed that, you might want to go back and pick that up. But quite frankly, I really prefer routines to habits anyway. I don't know, they just kind of fit with me a little bit better. So a routine is a sequence of actions regularly followed or a fixed program. So typically people have routines, even if they aren't like planned out and intentional routines. Typically, everybody wakes up every morning. And after you wake up, you're going to say, I don't know, maybe get out of bed, brush your teeth, make your bed, eat breakfast. Or maybe you just get up and leave the house. I don't know. Hopefully you put some clothes on first. That's one of those things. You normally have some sort of a routine, even if it's not planned out. There are just certain things you need to do before you can be ready to go for the day. My first real introduction to intentional routines was 12 or 13 years ago when I started decluttering. And that was by somebody named Fly Lady. And I know that's a really weird name. She is actually a fly fisherman. And somebody that was following her advice or whatever suggested that fly could mean finally loving yourself. So she picked it up and ran with it. Anyway, her main focus, of course, is like taking care of your home and getting things decluttered. I never really had a whole lot of success on her decluttering plan. But she's been really helpful in sort of teaching me how to take care of a house as far as cleaning goes. But she generally has multiple routines that you would follow in your day and a million emails to remind you to do each of them. But she normally says start with your morning routine and have an evening routine, and then there's a weekly cleaning routine and a monthly zone cleaning. I don't know if it would fall into the schedule category or a routine. I don't know. They all work together to become like a big giant web of routines. Her plan can be rather overwhelming for a lot of people, but if you would like some like in-depth sort of study of that, she is a good one to kind of search for and listen to how a few people do it. But like I said earlier, most people have some routines already, whether it's a morning routine or a laundry routine. Like, do you always start a load every morning, or do you always go to the laundromat on Saturdays? Do you sort your colors and your whites? And, how does that all happen? It's not something you normally have to think about each step of the process each time. And that's really what a routine is. It's a process that you go through that becomes second nature. Some people have always done spring cleaning. Some people always do fall decluttering before Christmas time. Those things can all be routines that you have just randomly picked up. But you can also be a bit more intentional with them. Now, what I find is, and like I mentioned last week, I've read a couple books on habits this winter, and I've tried implementing some of the things in there. And what I really found, especially with Atomic Habits, there was this kind of idea of habit stacking. And you would stack the habit that you want to start on top of something that you're already doing. So, for instance, I had tried to stack picking up a little bit of exercise every time I went to the bathroom. That's fine because that's something I have to do every day. But there's also nothing there to like kind of remind me, even though I put like a thing on the wall to remind me, it's not something that just intuitively goes there. So for me, what I have found is that it's easier to stack habits I want to build into routines that are already well established. So in a little bit, I'm going to show you how I do my routines, and kind of give you some ideas on how you could add to that. But with all kinds of things, it's helpful to have a few tools, right? And I would go out on a limb and say the first place you need to start is, where do you want to get to? Because if you are just randomly, okay, I'm, I don't really care where I get to. I'm just kind of meandering around through my day. It doesn't matter if anything gets done. Then you don't really need a routine. But if you want your mornings to go smoothly, if you want to make sure that you're getting more active, or that you're ready for some event in the future that you want to happen. I mean, last week we kind of did that sort of envisioning what you want your life to look like in 5 years. If you can make the steps to get there part of your everyday routine, you're going to build exponentially on that, and it's going to be easier to get there than if it's, okay, I'm just going to randomly do bits and pieces here and there. So other tools, after you get that vision, I use an app called Color Note. But in the past, I've also, like, when I started kind of my zone cleaning, I just printed off a sheet with a list for each room and stuck it in a sheet protector. I could use a dry erase marker or a wax pencil and just mark stuff off as I got it. Now, mise en place might seem a little out of place here if you know what it means. It's a French term that's used in the kitchen quite often, and it basically is sort of everything in its place. Before you start doing something in a kitchen, you need to gather all of the stuff that you need to do that project, whether it's all of your spices and bowls and tools that you need. You gather it all together. In terms of routines, I guess I wouldn't necessarily say it's gathering everything together, but more making sure you have what you need where you need it to get the stuff done. Whether that's, having your cleaning items under the sink in your bathroom instead of off in a different room somewhere, or if that's having, if you're going to read before bed, having a book by your bedside table, or I guess it would be on your bedside table, instead of out in the living room or, in an office on a different floor. You want to make it easy on yourself. You want to be able to put stuff back as you're finishing with it as well. So it's all of that is easier. Getting ahead of myself, guys. All of that gets easier if it is just its home is where you're going to be using it, or where you would intuitively look for it. Other things that can be helpful. Last week I mentioned that I'm kind of starting habits of posting on Instagram, and making sure that the short that I'm publishing that day are done in a timely manner. So I have a phone alarm set for both my Instagram post and to make sure that I've gotten my short done for the day. If you're going to do something for a certain length of time, it's also handy to have a timer. Oh, okay. And I'm just going to stop sharing because I think that's the last slide. And I don't know how to get back to it. Okay, so I'm going to check in on chat real quick. And of course, it just scrolled. Hi, Karen. Thank you for the raid. Glad to see it. You made it over. Hi, Cassie. Okay, and now I'm back to where I was at. So scroll back down. One of these days, I'm going to get used to the way they're set up. Okay, so Red, they are similar to habits. In a way, a routine is almost like a set of habits, to some degree. Possibly not necessarily. Most of the time, habits are like things that you do at a certain time. And I wouldn't say routines are generally at the same time, but you kind of have you could kind of jump into a routine and get going even if it's not at a certain time of day or that kind of thing. Fly Lady was very overwhelming. I will agree with that. Yeah, it was a lot. It was definitely a lot, and the emails were overwhelming, but the concepts were good. So I'm one of those people, I take what works for me and leave the rest, and that's kind of what I did with that. Hi, V. Thank you for listening in. Yeah, Vicki, I find that routine helps a great deal with anxiety. Hi, Paula. If I'm like feeling out of control and like my anxiety is just kind of haywire, I'm on edge, I find that I can often, if I can settle into a routine, I'm just like marking things off that list, and it gives me some semblance of order again. And then once I settle into that, I can just kind of break out of that anxious feeling quite often. So that's one way I definitely like that, because it gets things back under control. And I've got multiple routines. I will show you those in just a minute, that I have set up. So if I needed to jump into a routine because it's the middle of the day and I'm just kind of stuck out in la la land and don't know what is going on, but I'm anxious, I can jump into a routine whether it's technically that time to do so or not. I am talking with my hands and I feel like I'm yelling. I am sorry. Out of control in a controlled manner. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, a lot of people actually declutter right before Christmas because it's kind of a making room for new stuff as it like before it comes in, so it's not as overwhelming. Hi, JNN Travels. Thanks for coming in. We are talking about routines tonight. Hi, Howie. Hi, Amy. Okay. "13 cats is a lot." um, all right. So anyway, I am hoping this works. I am actually going to remove myself from the stream and add in a video. Okay, I don't know if you guys heard me or not. Oh, yeah, and it just popped in. So, okay. So I'm not going to try and do that again because it didn't look like I was muted, but apparently it doesn't matter. You still can't hear me. Okay. Okay, can you hear me now? Okay, if you can hear me now, can you put ones in the chat? That way I'm not talking and okay. Thank you, Desert. Thanks, Steve. My brain doesn't function at this hour. Hi, North and South Homestead. I want to say your name is Kim, but I'm not sure. Let me know if that is right, because I don't want to call you by the wrong name. So hopefully you could at least see the lists. And like I said, but I know one of the lists that I have on that app, and that app is called Color Note. And there is a link to that in the description if you're interested in it. I find it's very handy and useful once you get it set up. Okay, hi Kim. But like one thing I found that was really helpful for when I'm going out to the camper, just so I make sure I've got all of my stuff that I am going to need when I'm out there. That way I don't forget, say, the cat's food or that kind of thing that would make me have to come back and get it or go buy it. So I guess that is sort of where I'm at on routines, because it's a little bit more flexible. And so another thing with that app, I can set alarms, so it will automatically put a notification up and say, hey, this is the week we're in for cleaning, and it resets my list for morning routine every day. State of her pants, so does Zach. To it. Oh, that's lovely. So yeah, unless I'm typically not great things. I can't say I'm going to do lunch between 12 and 1. And sorry about the earthquake. Charlie just decided to jump on the table. But one thing I've kind of been watching this week is I don't drink coffee, or it would probably be mine too. So one thing I've kind of noticed, like, if you think about it in terms of the way nature does things, we have spring rains to clean up the dust and the dirt from winter. We have we have that. Sorry, Red. We have that kind of period in the fall where the earth is sort of cleaning house, leaves are dropping, and it's just going to be easier to let him lay down right there. So hopefully he does settle down and lays down and quits with the earthquake. But yeah, so if we kind of think about it in terms of what's going on in nature, things seem, I don't know, they just seem to fit a little bit better. Like one of the things I'm getting ready to do next week, I'm going to do another circadian, I'm having trouble getting to sleep before 2 a.m. And the light is a big part of that. Hi, Drop. So like when I'm going to do a circadian rhythm reset, number one, I normally do it around the equinox in spring and fall. So I'm a little late. I did do one sort of January-ish just because I really needed it. But like when I'm going to do that, I make sure that my blue light filters are on the phone and any screens that I'm going to be using. So since my daughter does not like the blue light filter on the laptop and she uses it more than I do, I'll just avoid being on the laptop at night. So next week you guys very well might see me on the phone instead. Speaking of doing lives on the phone, I am probably, at this point, I am planning to start, it probably won't be this week, but it'll probably be next week. I am going to start doing a live from 10 p.m. Eastern to 10:50 p.m. Eastern on Thursdays. And I had been talking about doing the herb journaling and stuff, and I've got some space and I got a new gadget that will make it easier. So I am actually going to start doing that so I can kind of do a work along with me and just chit chat with you guys while I work on the herb journal. I have heard of blue light filter glasses, and I know that the yellow glasses that Ray has for driving are sort of supposed to be the same sort of thing. Most of them don't go over other glasses well. So, and then I also have something called Irlen syndrome, which is a processing disorder that affects how I see colors, I guess. I see colors normal, I think. Like I can see all the colors. It's not like I'm colorblind. But it affects how light affects me. So I often have night mode on my phones with my Irlen colors happened to be gray and pink. So there is a setting with most night modes that is sort of a pinkish color, and I'll put that on, or I'll actually wear sunglasses. Sunglasses help me greatly. That's the one problem with wearing transitions is unless there's bright light, I can't change them. So, hi, Maureen. Thanks for stopping in. So, V, what am I getting? The blue light filter glasses? Because the ones that I've seen, it's not like you can put them over other glasses, and I'm pretty well blind without my glasses. But so that's sort of a routine that I have in the spring and the fall is resetting. And I'll use the blue light filters, and then I just won't use like lighting, like regular lighting. In the hell lamps and that sort of thing. Yeah, they do exist. But that's one of those things where trying to kind of line myself up with what the earth naturally wants to do, kind of similar planting a garden. I'm going to kind of try and follow the natural, ways of doing things. Jess always says, the earth doesn't like to be naked. Cover it up with, mulch and plants and have all this stuff. I always probably plant more than what I should in an area. And I'm very impatiently waiting. Very impatiently waiting to get stuff in the ground. But I haven't made much progress on that this week either, just because it's a lot of lifting to get some stuff dumped and changed. And so the blue light affects your circadian rhythm. It basically your body, it affects how your body produces or metabolizes the cortisol, and I think there's one other hormone, because your cortisol levels, they're lowest during the night when you're sleeping, and then they ramp up to wake you up in the morning. And if that gets out of whack because you have screens and other things in your face all the time, so that you're getting a lot of that blue light, it screws it up. So you're seeing more blue light at night, and then you're not waking up easily because your cortisol's not there because it was high, or it just stays high all the time and you can't sleep. Um, I was going to say, and the chat has stopped completely. Offline. Okay. Lovely. All right. I don't. Melatonin's the one I was thinking of. Thank you very much, you guys. And my plan is to raid Rolling Homestead and Wild Edibles in Wisconsin, who had said he was planning on going live basically 15 minutes ago, but I'm not seeing him live yet. All right. Karen is still seeing me. Okay. I don't know. I was going to say, and I'm not really sure how that kind of stuff metabolizes. So at various times I have, okay. I'm not going to pretend that I understand how StreamYard works, y'all. I'm sorry, I just don't. I know that a lot of things as far as body systems work together in certain ways. And that's one thing with my issues as far as the histamine intolerance and the MCAS. I'm finding there's even more ways and things are more interconnected than ever. I am actually starting the second section of the class I had told you guys about. In this quarter, we are learning about detoxing and digestion. Hopefully I will kind of understand how I was going to say, if you guys are unaware, I know that at least some of the mast cell stuff has to do with gut issues. So I'm hoping to kind of get that a little bit more under control as well. And then as we get into third and fourth quarter, those focus more on hormones. And I will hopefully be, by the end of the year, have the PICO side of things worked out and understood a little bit more. So even just now, like trying to understand the patterns of where the hormone, I find really interesting. And that is the stuff that we eat affects that kind of thing. Hi, Shar. Hi, 2021. Nice to meet you. Feel free to drop your name and where you're generally located. I'm taking this class through she had been my chiropractor for several years, and when she left that practice, she actually was teaching functional medicine. Her day job currently is teaching doctors about functional medicine. So she's like designing the teaching materials for teaching the doctors, if that makes sense. And then she had at one point taken on patients and stuff, and it was just too much for her. So this is sort of her way of getting around that. It is something she is going to do every year, it sounds like. So towards the end of the year, I will probably be letting people know more information about that. Oh, wow, Zach, that is insane and sounds very painful. Yeah, functional medicine is, so you've got naturopaths that, in my experience, focus just on the herbal side. Functional medicine practitioners have an understanding of both. So, like Dr. Angela, she can look at all of the tests and medicines and stuff that you're already on and kind of see what's going on and then figure out how to fix things to get you back on the right path, off the medications and all that kind of stuff. Hi, Doreen. Thank you. I was going to say, we probably won't be on too much longer, but it's a very interesting thing. And I think overall, the functional aspect is a good one because they can kind of look at all sides and work together rather than sort of just, okay, well, this stuff will help, and then work out that side of what you're on with your doctor. At least in my experience, that was the way the naturopaths I have talked to have been. And that was back when, it was like, well, I've got this stuff, but I don't know how to use it and that kind of thing. And it does seem like the functional medicine is becoming more mainstream, so fingers crossed it will be covered on insurance and stuff. You can actually find some practitioners that are be your primary care physician, and some insurances would still be okay with that. Yeah. Good to know, Red. Yeah, that's one of those. I typically start checking on the raid parade about Tuesday and get everything lined up. So you will definitely hear from me by tomorrow. Have a great night, Steve. Sleep tight. I had a plan for what next week is. I just don't remember what it was right now. It went in the same line of like the habits, routines, probably systems. I'm a systems girl. But my routines are kind of my system. I guess I do have some other systems. But anyway, I like making things easy. So you guys have any questions about routines before we get this wrapped up? Because I'm kind of with Steve. It is getting late here too. And I'm glad you learned some things, Steve. Yeah, Zach, I fought with insurance most of last winter over my dental implants, just because something was coded a little bit off. I haven't really honestly ever had good luck with my insurance, so I'm not having it to some degree. I'll share at this point. Thanks for tucking everybody in, Shar. Oh, that is awesome. So it does not look like Mark is live. If one of my mods could check that out and make sure that Rolling Homestead and Wild Edibles is not on. I can't see it on my computer, but that is who I was planning on rating, and he was supposed to be on at 10:25 his time, which would have been 11:25 my time. And otherwise, I guess I could actually just pull up my live schedule and go that route. But yeah, I do like the routines better than the just because they're easier. And if I want to start a habit, honestly, the best time for me to do it is to kind of plan to do that right after I would normally be finishing a routine, or to work it into my routine somewhere. Trying to, well, and I guess to some degree, so like I'm posting my Instagram posts at 11:55, and if I get up at 10 and get Pinga her shot and get the cats fed and that kind of thing, it just kind of works out that my morning routine is done usually by 11:55. And it looks like I've got nothing on any of the schedules. So I think I am just going to turn you guys loose, and I can definitely just give you a channel link. Pretty awesome. I know that Paula over on Van Vita Travels has done one interview with him. Okay, I guess if I can remember how to share a channel link on a computer. This is why I don't mod from a computer, y'all. So Mark over at Rolling Homestead is pretty awesome. He has so much knowledge about different herbs. He is a wild crafter, so he is used to, and bushcrafter, he is used to going out in the wild with pretty much nothing and taking care of himself that way. So he has to have a lot of knowledge on foraging and learning how to prepare things on the fly. But then he also just, I mean, he has a family and stuff, so he has worked this stuff into his everyday life. And so lately, it's one of those things where I have been definitely enjoying listening to him on his own live streams as well as other people's, and they can just kind of go back and forth. It's kind of like Howie from I wanted to tell you guys about that too. Howie from Food Forest Permaculture. I'm telling you, my brain is about half dead. Ray, if you can go grab his link, I don't have a tab up for him. Food Forest Permaculture is doing a contest right now. So anyway, Howie is doing a 24-hour live stream for Earth Day. He is having a contest, and all you need to do a video basically explaining what you do to help the Earth. And basically shout out the his channel and the 24-hour live stream he is doing to promote Earth Day. It sounds like he's going to be taking a break from YouTube for a bit while he is dealing with some health issues. So it should be a lot of fun, kind of a nice way to celebrate Earth Day, get some new ideas for how people are doing things. I'm going to try and get a video worked in. It will be sort of a compilation of kind of my short series, which has a ton of ideas. If you haven't seen that, definitely check that out. There is a shorts playlist with the Switch to Simplify stuff going on. But with that, I keep buffering, so I don't even know if you guys can hear me, and I am just going to let you guys go, and I will see you Friday for the raid parade. Definitely check out Nomadic Wednesday as well. And have a great night.